episode of Track, Telling Realities and Creating Knowledge. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing on the topic from classroom to running ideas. And we discussed about so many things in the last episode, and I know you must have picked one or two interests in the last edition we had. And today we're here to impact you with more things that are educational and are income friendly. And with me here today, I have a lecturer, and also he's an entrepreneur. Also, he's also a consultant. He's here with us today, and also a student who is into part of that entrepreneurship process. So, without wasting much of life, to introduce Mr. Augustine Okolobi, who is here with me. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
He's a lecturer of entrepreneurship and also a consultant. He teaches at the Admiralty University of Nigeria, and he's very good at that. That's why we say we want to hear from his vast knowledge today on entrepreneurship and to know how we can go about it to making income out of what ideas we have in us. And on my right, I have a by the name Favor Uti. Welcome, sir. Good. Thank you for being with. And tighten your seatbelt as we drive you through. And please don't forget, for all your questions and all your contributions, you can drop it on our YouTube handle or on our Facebook comment section, each of the comment section, and we'll answer all your questions. Thank you so very much. Now, let me start with Mr. Okolobi. Thank you, sir. So please, sir, can you actually tell us an insight on what entrepreneurship really entails?
Thank you very much. Good morning. Well, entrepreneurship as a word is elastic. That's first. But let's start with the whole thing. Entrepreneurship is the act of being an entrepreneur. That is the basic definition of entrepreneurship. Now, I'll break this down quickly so you understand it. An enterprising individual or an industrial individual who generates idea, identify opportunity, and actually sees this opportunity. Now, you could see first that the individual is the most important. Now, the act of this individual generating this idea, identifying the necessary opportunity, then acquiring the necessary skills and gathering all necessary resources to turn this idea into a product or a services. That is what entrepreneurship is. We are trying to make you understand that without the individual, there's nothing like entrepreneurship. The entrepreneur, the process of you raising funds, the process of you identifying an opportunity, generating an idea, that is what entrepreneurship is. So basically, entrepreneurship is centered on the entrepreneur. And that's why we have the equation, capital letter E is equals to function of a smaller e. That means entrepreneurship is the function of an entrepreneur. I like to make this very clear so that people will get it. People think entrepreneurship is just all about starting business, but that's not what it is. Entrepreneurship is all about an individual, an entity, your personalities, your skills, the application of those skills. So it's beyond business creation. Business creation is part of entrepreneurship. So this is what, and this is how I would like my audience or individual students, colleagues to view entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is you, and it's domiciled in every field. As a worker that you work in, as a sports personality, every sector there's an entrepreneur. Name it, from departments to field of work, we have entrepreneurs everywhere. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so very much, Mr. Okolobi. What I just got from your definition is idea, creating idea, turning it into a business and earning from it. That's why we're here. We need to earn, you know.
Yeah, we need to earn. It's necessary you earn, and everything we have today, from the microphone to the packaged bottled water on our table to the cameras we're using, they are all someone's idea. The point of entrepreneurship, first step is you generate the idea. That's why when they teach you entrepreneurship, there are places where we talk about idea generation. You must learn to adopt a culture of how to use your cognitive skills, which is idea generation, opportunity identification. Without ideas, nothing in this room will come into existence. Even the mini studio, it's all about somebody's idea. But entrepreneurship does not stop there. The idea must fit into the opportunity. So which means our mini studio is actually bridging the gap of reaching out to our audience in the university and outside the university to actually profile solutions from the research, from the personalities we have on campus to the world in general. So idea is the first step of entrepreneurship, opportunity finding, skill acquisition. But the most interesting part and the most important is the applications of everything I just mentioned, which is very essential. So that's it for now.
Wow, thank you so very much. I have an idea right now and I want to apply it. The idea is, my name is Obadiah Moses and I'm applying it to this program. So let me generate money from inside. Thank you so very much. Actually, I didn't introduce myself. That's my name, Obadiah Moses, your anchor for today. Thank you so very much. So now, can I call you Mr. Uti? Okay, Mr. Uti, but not Uti Wachuku, right? So please, can you tell us what skills or what idea you've had and what skills you've developed and how you've used it to impact, or you've used it to your own advantage as a student?
Thank you so much for this question. My name is Uti Favor, a front-end developer, and I ventured into artificial intelligence earlier this year. And I've used the skill to make a lot of impact, right? And AI is something that I feel that everybody should venture into, because that's the future and is going to. The question that you ask is, what skill students should learn to generate income? That skill you personally have. Okay, what skill I have? Okay. How you use it to your own advantage? Okay, so like I said earlier, I'm a front-end developer and I currently work on Upwork as a freelancer, and I've gotten several jobs on the platform. I've also gotten referrals from clients reaching out to me for jobs. And I think that is awesome because I don't have to depend on my parents for things that I need in school. So it's giving me that freedom, right? That entrepreneurship is giving me freedom to do what I want and to pursue every idea. And yeah, and I ventured into AI, and I have this mindset of, when I get any idea, I execute rapidly. I don't wait for the perfect time. I just execute. If I make any mistake, I learn from it. And by the grace of God, I've hosted 2 events. The first one was Shaping the Future of AI. And we hosted 2 experts in the AI industry where they shared how to stay ahead in the AI industry. And over 77 persons registered and over 40 attended the program. And it's something I'm really proud about because it's the first event that we hosted and so many persons joined. One of the lecturers, he has PhD in AI, Dr. Pius. He was also present and he was one of the speakers, and it's something I'm really grateful about. And last 2 weeks, we had an event, it's been the backend masterclass, okay, and it's basically on backend development. where students come and like learn backend development. And the major aim behind this thing is to create a system whereby students learn by building, right? It's not just by theory or like going to classroom to write on the notes. Because I believe that Africa needs more entrepreneurs, we need more builders, we need more innovators, not more employees. So it has to start from the university. We have to start creating system and creating that environment where students can have the idea and rapidly work on it and create an environment where they are free to. In the last event that we had, the backend masterclass, the second day we spent about 1 hour just discussing about ideas and see what ideas that students are thinking about. Like these guys are creative, like they have the ability. So the school have to create a system to push these guys to create and build not just the academic aspects, right, but other aspects, the entrepreneurship aspect, and like of life. So school should go beyond education and see how can we position these students and put them in a place of advantage. You get because let me say for China, for example, you see those kids from small, they'll start training them on how to code, on how to like practical knowledge, not only theory. So I think that is one thing that is very, very important. And I think we are still going to host more program, but venturing into AI has been something that I'm really proud of, and I'll advise everybody to do same. It's not the most, but join the trend because like a quote, AI will not replace you, but the person that is leveraging on AI is going to replace you. So join the trend, create something and create value. Because now AI is still new, so many persons are not aware of it. So it's an advantage. It's like a good mind that so many persons are not aware of what it, right? There are so many AI tools. Okay, let me not go far. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Wow. This is really, really, how will I even say it, entertaining and educative, and knowing fully well that someone like you has a tech skill. And to be sincere, I feel other entrepreneurs that are now billionaires in the world, like in the likes of what's his name, Mark Zuckerberg, because he started the creator of his Facebook
From school. It was a prototype.
You see,
Actually,
Amazon that is now popular. That's Jeff. What's his name?
Bezos.
Yes, and likes of them,
Bill Gates, Elon Musk.
all of them, they all started with just an idea, and they saw that yes, these are the needs that the world wants or this particular community wants, and before it went fast. And today, billions of people are using those. Millions and billions of people are using those applications, or those their sites, whatever, all those tech lists that they have built. We see it in the offices. We use the system, which is Bill Gates, something like Bill Gates has to software that he has to create. So those are some of the things. And I feel, just as you have said, we need to build. Africa needs to wake up and start building, not just consuming, just like you said. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for that. I really, really got a lot from what you just said. In what ways has school contributed to students, like student growth through entrepreneurship? You know, since you're a lecturer, and someone, he's even in 100 level. If he was in 300 level, I would have said, okay, he must have done entrepreneurship. I think it's in 300 level they do entrepreneurship, right?
It's in 200 and 300 practically for now.
Okay.
Okay, basically, I think before I answer that question, I'd like to throw more light because of him. I feel from our students who just spoke, you find out that the entrepreneurial spirit was not impacted in him from school. So which means he got this impact from his home. So that's why if you check the framework of entrepreneurship, you understand that the bottom culture is a major framework. When we talk about culture, we're talking about family, we're talking about society. Now, there's a finding, scientific findings, which is clearly stating that children who do more chores or tasks at home end up becoming successful entrepreneurs or financially independent individual. So culture is a very big role that played in our student's life, because I've not met him and I'm meeting him today. Though I heard of the program last week, but I was at school. So culture plays a very significant role. And that's why I said before I answer this question, entrepreneurship is a national course. It's a national, what I call it, field. So it's something that the country is adapting. That's why they made it compulsory at all tertiary institutions. And also, it's a family thing. Why we call it a family thing is the basics of culture is from family. The basics of a nation starts from family. So it depends on how you impact this entrepreneurial spirit on your children. You understand? So that they will have the idea generation mindset, the opportunity mindset, the learning by doing mindset, the feeling and progressing mindset. This is what makes an entrepreneur, because it's not as smooth as you see it. Literally, the life of every entrepreneur is kind of hard, because you pay your employees, you bring the idea, you do literally everything, it crashes one day. You need the persistent spirit, you need the discipline aspect. So entrepreneurship is encoded both in culture and in education. And that's where we come in. Now, in terms of education, education is vast. Education has to do with both academics, it has to do with vocational skill acquisition, it has to do with technical skill acquisition, it has to do with cognitive skills acquisition. So you could see how vast. It has to do with traveling, it has to do with daily experience. So you can see where it's coming from. Now, at the university tertiary institution level where we are, one of the key about entrepreneurship education and education in the university level, of it. And it's so sad that these days people call it theory. Now, the transfer of information at entrepreneurship level is first, we're trying to create the awareness. That's why in 200 level, they take courses like Introduction to Entrepreneurship. You have courses like Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Because the first stage is awareness. You need the children to understand, for those who are not having the cultural background, to understand what entrepreneurship is, the world, the history, identify entrepreneurs, the characteristics of entrepreneurs. On that aspect, the school have laid necessary foundation, and that's why we have the entrepreneurship and innovation at the 200 level. Information is key to every development in life, both practical, both theoretical, the information you access. That's why people go to different stages of education. You come to university to access information, to understand the scientific way of applying and solving a particular problem. While you go to the vocational skill acquisition to learn the technical or practical way of how to construct. So for now, at this level, due to our we just transcend from PPP, private-public partnership, to a full federal university. We have not really had a lot of investment in entrepreneurship, which there are lots of plans already. We have a specific has been approved. We already have a site for the entrepreneurship complex. Just like he said, we want to create an entrepreneurial environment, not just for the students, but for the school. Because for you to actually produce an entrepreneur, the school has to have the entrepreneurial vibes. The school has to adopt it. The school has to live it. It has to show from our staffs into the lives of our students also. And the school is making serious plan on that. Not just having a work-in center, a center where we'll have its vocational workshop, think tank sections, we have cognitive workshops, we have a lot of them. So basically at this level, what we're doing is creating the awareness, giving them access to information, and also giving them mentorship and guides on how to access the necessary information to help them build their skills and to help them and thrive as an individual. For example, now, a lot of people commonize entrepreneurship, like I said earlier on, to skill acquisition. A lot of people commonize it to actually just business establishment. there's a thin line people don't get. Entrepreneurship is based on problem solving. And you mentioned Mark Zuckerberg, you mentioned Bill Gates. I'll use them as a quick one. Now, Mark Zuckerberg actually established a community outside the geographical communities. Growing up, those of us that was born without phones, you notice if your friend travel, you don't get to see them. Step for information. Before you even graduate, you created a group, a place where all of you will join. So it's creating a community outside the geographical community, whether you're abroad, whether you're anywhere. So you could see, and that was possible because somebody invented the internet. And another person noticed that the internet was 1.0 was on the text space. That means you can. Somebody else now brought the media base where you can upload pictures, where you can take recording, where you can do podcasts. So he took the opportunity and created Facebook. The same thing with Gate. Everybody has to do it right. So you create a computer, the Microsoft system, missions that could help us document properly, do the writing on our system, save it on our system, if possible, connect it to a printer and print it out in a paper instead of writing. So my point here is the problem solving. That's the thin line between the average business person and the entrepreneur. Once you identify a problem and you're solving the problem, you have the mentality to do that. That problem, people will patronize you for it. It means you're adding value. So if you don't create value in terms of products, if you don't create value in terms of services, people will not pay for it. Because if we look at how it's going, you can sell, you can produce. Doctors are making money, surgeons, counselors are making money. In short, presently, I think guidance and counselors are really, consultants are making money because the human problem is even more than the material problems now. You see high rate of divorce, you see high rate of mental challenges. People need people to talk to, and people are already setting up services to tackle those problems. So for Adron, we are making and taking the right steps to activate entrepreneurship. We are when students are now doing businesses. We are even trying to make policies that will allow our students to not only learn, but also practice, like run their own business little by little till they are ready to scale it up. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so very much, sir. Is there, are there, like, have you already established, even if it's something like an entrepreneurship? You said you have you plan on creating a complex for entrepreneurship.
Yes.
But for the complex, I'm sure, yes, you're already lecturing on entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So are there other activities you've done in the school in the line of entrepreneurship, like, or are there even some?
Basically, yes, we have. You know the Adron rights, right?
Yes.
The Adron rights, we have a container there meant for the entrepreneurship. So when we started, we have a hair making salon there. We have a tailoring salon there. We are trying to integrate a system where students can not just learn vocational training, like I said. Vocational training is part of entrepreneurship under hard skill acquisition. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, generally in Africa, people tend to see that as entrepreneurship. We'll talk about that. But we're trying to establish a system where our students will have both the soft and the hard skill. For the soft skills, such as cognitive skills, critical thinking, innovative thinking, creative thinking, analytical thinking, opportunity identification, very essential. Then when you go to the hard, same on soft skill, personal discipline, time management. And when you go to the technical, the hard skills, you have the technical vocation. So the technical means the know-how. That's where the main part comes in. When we talk about feasibility analysis, business model design, SWOT analysis, very essential. Why am I bringing it? Then you go to the third one, which is the vocational skill, the hands-on, where you learn a trade, just like tailoring, just like coding, just like hair making. So you see, there are three in one. And why we're merging it, and that's why people will ask why students not going there right now. Why we're merging it is one is center where students will understand beyond vocational skill, because you can learn how to sew, get a machine and start sewing, right? But that does not guarantee your success as a person. But when you understand how to sew, you understand how to think, how to provide solutions in the sewing industry or the fashion industry, how to think, you'll find out that what you'll be doing is not just sewing, but setting up an organization where you can draw your business plan, you can do your feasibility study, you can raise your funding, then you now set up an organization where you have other people sewing for you or with you. Then you can generate more income. Because the idea is, if you are sewing, let's say it takes you 8 hours to produce a native like this, it means that at the end of the day, where we have 24 hours, you end up producing 2 pairs of native. And whether you like it or not, time is essential. The more efficient and effective you get, you still have to do the same. That means for the rest of your life, if you continue, you only produce 2 pairs of native a day. Wow. Because the remaining 8 hours, that's 16 hours. If you add the remaining times for making it, the remaining hours are for your personal life, personal activity. So what is the entrepreneur in there is, you know the knowledge. That means what? You now have to start building up team, setting up a business plan, how to expand, how to acquire more funds to create more workstations for other people who don't have workstations, but they have the vocational skill to come on board. And that's what everybody does. And when you create like 2 more workstations, what happens? You produce 2, your other partner produce 2, the other produce 2. If, for example, you make 5,000 naira from one sewing one cloth, you already made 10,000. Then the other person made 10,000. If you share, you take 5,000, you give him 5,000. You find out that instead of making 10,000 for a day, because you apply your entrepreneurial skills you acquire from setting up an organization and running it, you end up making 20. So it means that you'll be triggered to establish more workstation, to the extent that you want to even abandon sewing and go into marketing. That's the progress. That's how it works. But if you just based on acquiring vocational skill, which everybody is all about, you end up like everybody. Literally everybody in Nigerian streets, or majority, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vocational skill. The question I ask is, why are you not applying them? Why come back to learn another skill? Because what they do in Nigeria is, they learn one skill today. If catering is a trend, they learn catering. Tomorrow, if agro farming is in the trend, they learn farming. You know, everybody keep going, learning. But what is the essence of learning if you don't apply it? Because you learn more by application. And that's why when we pass on knowledge, that's why I said some things we call theory are not theory. When you pass knowledge, you acquire the knowledge, it means you've learned. The next thing is to apply the knowledge. In the process of applying the knowledge, you question the knowledge. You cannot say, oh, no. This person is doing it like this. This is the result. And I did it like this. I'm getting another result. So you can now improvise within your critical thinking. Because the truth is, there's nothing you want to do today that people have not done. All that is happening is people are improving on existing technology. People are improving on existing practice or process. For example, the phone. Somebody established the normal phone. Before you know, smartphone came on board. Before you know, somebody added the BIOS, the thumbprints, the facial recognition. You know, computers to gadgets, to the tabs, to phones. Now we're moving to digital glasses. So now we're moving to AI. And you hear people say AI will be the greatest invention. Man is the greatest invention. That's something you must always call. You get it. So for us now, we want to build the complex, and you know, it's quite financially taxing with you. Entrepreneurship, and go to any school, they will tell you entrepreneurship is financial taxing, because the center is like our lab. So when you build a place, students can come and play, learn at the same time, and actually produce new products. So for now, we've done a lot with the introductory part. Then the technical part, we teach them how to run this feasibility studies, how to design your business model, how to do the necessary legalization of your company. These are necessary because you need to do these things because that is what is accepted globally. How to register your company with CAC, how to do your tax registrations, because these things play roles in accessing funding and also establishing a concrete organization that is recognized. So we're pushing towards that. Then we have a course called CSL. It's called Community Service Learning. It opens our students to the aspect of social entrepreneurship, where students come together, get to apply both the classroom learning and the hands-on experience by reaching out to host communities and immediate communities at Admiralty University, identifying a problem they feel is community-based, providing solutions to this problem, source for funding, and executing the civic engagement. Expose our students to the necessary social responsibility mentality and civil responsibility mentality, adding values for our individuals. Thank you.
All right. Wow. Thank you so very much, sir. Oh, this was quite educative, very, very educative. Seeing the different aspects of entrepreneurship. Because most times, I think when growing up, while being in school, we all just saw entrepreneurship as skills acquisition. We just saw that as celebration. So we did not even go in depth to know that.
Yeah, but sorry, those aspects you see is just to activate the brain. There's nothing we can teach you in this space of 3 months. Realize that if the person don't apply it. So we are here to activate the entrepreneurial space so that you will be worried. So that when you walk past a problem, you identify this is a problem. When you walk past an opportunity, you find that's the first step. Because entrepreneurship is really huge. Anybody can be an entrepreneurship. We have entrepreneurs who are good in investment. Okay. That part comes into the basic learning of financial literacy, which most people don't understand. They are basic about entrepreneurship that if you don't have them, you don't have them. Financial literacy cannot be contested anywhere. Globally, like he said, China, US, you find that these people have financial literacy at the high level. Even to teaching financial literacy at primary level. That means they already know what savings, investment is by default. They already know how to generate income. They know what to spend. For example, now, I've asked a lot of people this question, how do you save? They say, no, I just save from my leftover. That's not savings. You're not saving. You save before you even spend. Wow. So those practice needs to learn. And that's what we're trying to impact in our students. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so very much, sir. Wow. Really, really, really complete. Us and for our viewers out there, please, I hope you are actually enjoying and talking from the vantage of Mr. Okolovi, who is really giving us more insight a lot about entrepreneurship and what you need to do to start earning from your own ideas, from whatever issue is happening within the community around you, how you can utilize that particular issue and earn from it. Okay, I would like to let you know you can start sending your questions to either dropping it on the comment section on the YouTube or on Facebook, and you can send it through the WhatsApp number 0816 463 1470. Once again, 0816 463 1470. That's the number. Thank you so very much. Now to Mr. Favor, let me just ask you, how do you as a student balance your skills and studies? Does your skills affect your studies, or you are able to balance the two and still earn from inside? Are you actually earning from your skills? Because you said you were earning. How much earning, like, sometimes I like to know, normally everybody likes money, so I like to know how much earning actually is it really giving you something very well. How do you balance your this and your skills?
Thanks so much for that question. Um, my schoolwork and entrepreneurship. I would say proper time management. Proper time management, because there are 24 hours. Elon Musk, for example, he has same 24 hours and he's running like 6 companies. So how do you think he's able to manage all these companies? Same 24 hours that everybody has. And Dangote has same 24 hours. So it depends on how you manage your time and like leverage on that time. Okay? You cannot tell me that you are reading for 24 hours. That's not possible, right? Because like, yeah, and true. So you have to find the time that works best for you. Okay, some persons that are good, they understand better when they read in the morning, and they understand better when they read in the night. So the best thing is to find what works for you. Because I cannot give you a specific tip and be like, okay, from 5 to this thing, do this from 7 to 8. No, it depends on you. Okay, it has to do with the system, right? So you have to create a system around your life to make sure that, okay, this time I'm doing this, I'm reading, and most of the work is on. So it's not something that you have to go there physically. Okay. So since you're working online, there's more time for you to like do other things, maybe a project or assignment. So I would say it's proper time management. Always plan your day. Get a diary, write all the plans that you have, and break it down into smaller chunks. Right. I learned a lesson that helped me so much. How to break down goals into smaller steps. Then go after them step by step, not trying to achieve everything at once. Because if you try to achieve everything at once, you end up doing nothing because your head is not clear. And so break down your goals into steps and set priorities, right? For example, now exam is close, so your priority now will be reading for exam, not finding a new client. You can find clients after we are done with exam. So since exam is near, focus on exam, because now I am stopping, not everything do, but most of the things I'm doing, I'm like cutting down everything to focus on this exam because it's more of a priority. It's a low GPA. It cannot be like recovered back. But if I not a client, I can get 10 times more the next time. Okay. So it depends on mindset and like proper time management.
Wow, proper time management. That's just, and setting goals. These are some of the key things he mentioned: time management and setting goals. And even setting of the goals, you have to know how to break down your goals and know how to achieve them. He really hit a point there. That goal setting is one of the major things. So let me also ask you a question. Have you had the opportunity to impact your skills on people? Because I remember you said something like that. Have you been able to impact your skills to people that are both the local people around you, that's locally within your community, and internationally, like even outside the globe? Outside the country. Have you been able to impact on any other people?
During the last holiday, I had an opportunity to be an instructor at Scoville, a tech hub, and I taught the students on. Yeah, it was office application though, but I'm really proud of it because I had a chance to like teach people that are older than me, and from there I learned how to communicate and how to be confident. Then I also worked as the front desk, and that's taught me a lot about sales, how to communicate with people, and like how to interact with my fellow human beings. Because Vusi said something that we are moving into an era where emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. So that is what I learned, right? How to like communicate with people, how to interact with them. Okay. And like I said earlier, the backend masterclass was also a means of impacting students, and also the AI event that we had. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for that. And I think we're finally rounding up. But before we round up, let me just ask, how can one identify a profitable idea? Let me just ask, please, sir.
Basically, a profitable idea is actually an idea that is problem solving. I've said it here before and I'm saying it again. You profit from solving problems. For example, people are looking for a lot of solutions to a lot of humanitarian challenges, environmental challenges, food scarcity, health challenges, and all that. So definitely all industry are valid. All, from agro to tech to mining. Just find the industry where you have the required skills to harness the idea until you find. It's one thing to generate an idea, it's another to identify an opportunity. It's still very important you have the necessary skills to actually turn these opportunities and idea into a profitable venture. That's what people should know, and that's the way it should go. So for me, identifying of opportunity has to do with observation. It has to do with surfing the internet. It has to do with even communicating with people. Just be on an alert that any slight thing can become an opportunity. For example, there's this mug holder people use for hot tea. Now, they use it to carry mug if it's hot. Now, the development of that idea was just as a result of someone picked up the mug when he's working and it was too hot and it dropped. So he started looking for a solution to that. So you can see that anything is possible. The point is the end result of every product and services is people. The population is increasing. We're about 8.1 to 2 billion presently. So people will definitely need your product or your service. Just have one product or one service. Then after developing it, use the same mechanism to develop another one and build the necessary teams that with or without your presence, your business can thrive. He said something about Elon Musk, which is fact. He has think tank, individual, and grabs him that his presence does not, his absence will not stop the business. You get, so that's where entrepreneurship is. The people. Once you know how to handle people, manage them properly, you bring in business people. So you're good to go.
Wow, thank you so very much, sir. Thank you for that insight. Viewers, now we've come to our questions session. I think we are now rounding up. And sir, I have some questions here that some of our viewers have sent, and I'd like to read them out. Okay. Question one says, good morning, sir. I would like to ask, why do graduates who have taken entrepreneurship classes in university and even attending SAID as skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development during NYSC roam the streets looking for white-collar jobs?
Okay, that's a very good question. I think I would like to clarify one basic fact. Education does not guarantee success. Now, that's where we mix it all. Education is an enlightenment that makes you mentally stable, helps you to communicate properly, helps you to access information. Now, that's one basic about education. Build self-confidence and learn your self-awareness for education. Now, let me go down to the question for graduates after learning entrepreneurship and SAID. The truth is this, still, people miss that part of entrepreneurship. Game don't allow people to do anything. I, for one, is an example. I sell food. They know in this school. There was a time I sold moi carrying it on the cooler as a lecturer. I don't care. So many of them are ashamed. either because they feel the trade or the business. I'll give you another example. I was interacting with a keke person at the Saba, and he said he cannot take 9 to 4 job. The reason why is he's entitled to minimum of 15,000 profit from his keke daily. There are some people who can drive keke, right? Now let's go down to POS. A POS individual that transacts a complete 200,000 naira transaction, cash given, cash received, is entitled to minimum of 6,000 to 9,000 naira daily. After all the expenses and stress, food, everything, you're entitled to 5,000 naira. So you could see the reason why a lot of them still roam the street is one, shame to engage in a trade. Two, confusion. Some are doubting themselves. Will this favor me? Will this pay me? Will this turn out to be positive? Some of the times, the things we need to apply is just to try, because you have the knowledge to plan and kickstart. So many of them are ashamed to try. Many of them doubt themselves. And these are very essential. No matter the money you have, put it in a business. If you're ashamed to sit in your shop, if you're ashamed to sell your product, nobody will buy it. You won't have cash. For example, Dangote, when he started the refinery, you can see how he was crying all over the TV, trying to, this is my challenge, this is my product. If a billionaire can come out to sell his product to the extent of bringing his byproduct, his product, and be showing us and giving us reasons like that. So that's, for me, shame and doubt is a big problem.
Wow, thank you so very much, sir. I think one of the major things also is pride.
Yeah. Pride is shame.
I'm not
big boy, I cannot be. Yes.
So the second question is what relationship does SWOT analysis have on the success or failure rate of an entrepreneur?
Okay, basically, SWOT analysis is the, what I call it, the go-getter. You know, the SWOT means your strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So it's very good because the SWOT analysis can be organizational wise and individual wise. So for the individual wise, it means that first, as an individual, weigh in on your strengths. I'm very good in thinking. I'm very good in generating ideas, identifying opportunity. I'm handy. But the point is this, I should know my weakness as a person and my strength. So once I get to identify my strengths, I improve on it. My weakness, I improve on it. But at the same time, I can move ahead to go and get people that will fill in my weakness part. Yeah, and the next we talked about is the for the SWOT analysis with opportunity. You check the opportunity, analyze it, examine it properly. Is this opportunity worth it for me to invest in it? You scrutinize it properly. Then threats, you check the threats. There's what we call external, internal factor in business. External factors are like government, policy making, tax. You can't manage. Check those things. Those are the threats. What is stopping me from utilizing this opportunity? What are the threats I will face if I invest in this? You check them. So SWOT analysis is very critical as an entrepreneur for your person and for your business. Anytime, any day, you have to read more about it. Same way financial literacy is essential. You need to learn them theoretically and also practice them by learning also.
Thank you so very much. That was really enlightening. Time, I would have said let's dialogue more on this topic, because me, I was an entrepreneur during secondary school. Yes, started from I sold donuts in class in my SS2. Even the university, I sold. Even when I graduated, I still sold. So those were so many things I didn't see it as a shame. But the best advice for anybody out there is you need to get up. Don't be lazy. Whatever you find your hands to do, whatever skills you have, put it into action. Put it into use and earn from it. Don't die of hunger because you have pride, or as our speaker said, you have shame. You have you're feeling like you cannot be able to do. Get up and walk. That's just all we have for today. So, Mr. Augustine Okolobi, not Yoruba Oko. That's it. Oko, thank you so very much for your with today. And
Welcome very much.
thank you, sir. And Mr. Favor Uti, not the Uti Mwachiko. Thank you also for being with us today. Thank you for coming to the studio with us.
Thank you very much.
And on this note, we call it a wrap. Once again, our topic for today for discussion is from cash flow to what? To cash flow. Yes. What do we say? From classroom to what? Cash flow. So you're supposed to always move from just a normal domain to making cash. That's just the idea for today. And once again, I am your host over there, Moses, and I'll say this is a wrap for today. And see you next time on our next episode of Track Turning Reality and Creating Knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.